Hold on. I don't have it. Okay, no, now we're good. I had the wrong thing up. So we're all back. Hey, we're back. A little, I was excited. Okay, I saw something and I was like, oh boy, I should really look at this. And then I had the wrong window up. I'm not late, by the way. That's John. All right, we were discussing somebody and how somebody's getting ridiculed right now whenever they're at a certain table. Whenever I see a certain black sweaty man, fat pig, he's getting made fun of by a bunch of people, and I love it. It's hilarious. It's the best thing ever. So anyway, we're back. Whitty Reviews, Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m., Chateau de Mars Hill studio. We got a smorgasbord here, boys and girls. It's going to be so good. But anyway, everybody's in the chat right now. I see Kiff, Ducky, Spiro, Drew, Jimmy Bennett. Hey, I fixed my sound finally. Jimmy's like, it's about time. Who else in there? Special Power. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're back. All right, got a big old smorgasbord going on. And you know what? I have a problem right now, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But first things first, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Samsung announced and confirmed they are now testing ads on an $1,800 smart fridge screens in the United States. I don't know about you, but this is terrifying. You're going to have a smart fridge. First off, smart anything is lame. You can see all the comments on here. Oh, I'm sorry. You've had your quota for eggs today. Oh, I'm sorry. What if the David Waters in the house, D2 Indy, let's go. What if like the fridge starts making fun of you? Like, hey, hello, fatso. I believe you've had too much to eat, fat pig. You know, something like that. Or like, what if you said it depending on the religion? So if you're a Muslim, because you're not allowed to have bacon and booze and smoke, but apparently there are some Muslims that we know of that are really fat and drink and smoke and they sweat and they smell. Certain ones that get made fun of by other people. Gee, who am I talking about? Sparkly D, let's go. Anyway, yeah, we're bringing it back. Give me the old Whirlpool refrigerator. I said I would be surprised if there isn't going to be some like you're not allowed to open the fridge until the 10-second ad plays down. You know, like YouTube, same thing. All right, so more perfect union. I talked about this last week about how the data center, the bid for the what is it? I don't know. The thing for the data center got pulled by the lawyer, and they have until next week, which I'll be there next Monday, I think it was. Yeah, so true. Johnny Walrus is what we're gonna call him. So anyway, everybody in the comments for this more perfect union. I saw old Bernie Sanders. He was congratulating this thing too. But everybody in the comments are just like, hey, what do you know about water? Hey, don't you know about the water? Oh, congrats, China. And I'm looking at all these comments too. Like, what's China going to do? Okay. And driven their electric rates higher. You all lie. This is not about water. I don't know what your games are, but I'm so tired of people who lie and live in meta conversations. This guy's a douchebag, obviously. I'm not sure of how many of these people are actually bots, because I want to show you one of them. Like, this guy has 11,000 followers, but he's following 9,000 people. There was another one too. Leftist are retarded. This was a bipartisan effort, by the way. Who was it? There was some guy that had like a bunch of followers. I just saw it a second ago. But this all has to do with we have too many gooners out there that want to look at Instagram thoughts and shoot ropes in the middle of the room. We don't want any of that. I mean, there's some like fun search engine stuff with ChatGPT and all of that. But this is all about the security state. This is all about having cameras everywhere, monitoring you everywhere, smart refrigerators everywhere, monitoring what you eat, what you say, what you do, what you're looking at. So you can sell more ads, monetize everything, and just keep an eye on of what you're doing. And one of my theories of what I've been saying for a long time is that all this crime is happening intentionally. Letting it happen is intentional. Letting the flood of migrants, of these third worlders with a room temperature IQ, have rape gangs is all done intentionally for bringing in real ID, digital ID. I mean, Lucy would agree with me, okay? Lucy is a little bit out there lately, especially with the whole Charlie Kirk thing, but she would definitely agree with me. Yeah, there's going to be a camera on your toilet, and they're going to monitor. I think there is actually a toilet, Ducky, where you poop in it, and like it totally scans your caca, and it finds out like what you need to change in your diet. I think that's a real thing. But this, you know, you could have. This is where I'm convinced. Like these people are either bots or they're actually morons. Like this guy, 7,900 followers, but following 8,700 people. This is just yeah, 145. This person might actually be real. No, this person can't be real. 441 followers, but following 4,400 people. I don't know if they're trying to like screw with the algorithm or what. But this is what I was pointing out too. IDEM grants a wetland permit for phase 2 of Google data center in Fort Wayne. Now, this is the problem that we are having, is that when they are building these data centers, they are also trying to fill in wetlands. And if you guys saw the one over in New Carlisle, they're trying to fill in, I think, like 14 acres of wetland, and they didn't get the permitted yet by IDEM. And the construction company that was going to be filling in the wetland, they started at it anyway. And then they got in trouble. And then IDEM said, hey, you got to stop. No. Bad. No bueno. All right, so there is, I know, I told you, I got a whole smorgasbord. We're all over the place. We're going schizo, baby. Hold on, I got to get a little drink of my peach because this is going to be fun. I was going through the IEDC transparency portal the other day, and I found there was a fund type called ARPA. I go, no way. We got some ARPA funding here? What is going on? So I look into it a little bit. I find out that Indiana received about $3 billion of ARPA money. And you're probably wondering, hey, I thought we had all this extra money. Well, let me tell you right now, you guys need to stop telling everybody that we have all this massive amounts of money. We don't, okay? We have really never had it. We were paying off bills. We were funding other things. And $1 billion, first there was $500 million. So I'm just going to go with $500 million. I thought it was $1 billion at first. So $500 million went to all these different authorities, all these different regions in Indiana. Now, what they had to do back in 2021 was create a mechanism to distribute this $500 million. And that's where READY comes into. I forgot what it actually stands for. It's like regional something. Do I even have it here? No. Actually, is it the definition? I talked about this on Saturday. Yeah, there it is. READY Fund. Yeah, Regional Economic Acceleration Fund. And what they did is that what you had to do is that you had to have a grant. You had to have a grant writer tell everybody what you're going to be using this money on, and then you were getting X amount of money. As you can see, the Southern Indiana Regional Development Authority had got just on $52 million, 50. And there was, after this, Holcomb and boys all were like, hey, you know what? READY 1.0 worked really well. We are going to create READY 2.0, which I think is one of these things that people do not talk about enough, because we are always wondering, where is our money going to? Well, it turns out everywhere. We don't have a solid fund. We could probably doing a lot more with the money, but you have all these connections. And don't forget the construction companies, all these people that are donating money to the legislators, to the governors, to the commissioners, all these different people that are getting a little piece of the pie, and they all want something for it. Listen, I'm not going to give you money unless you're going to give me an over-the-pants handy. We all know the rules here on the interweb. So, and we can see that especially with the 69 project, I won't name, we saw Milestone, we saw E&B Paving, we saw Kreider and Kreider, all these different people. Now, what was interesting about this READY 2.0, which I don't have it on here, is that it is you're going to get money, but you have to put money into it. It is not a 1-to-1 ratio either, as I thought it was originally. It can even be like a 4-to-1 ratio, which I thought was kind of wild. And what I'm seeing right now, and I haven't dug that deep into it, but the Ready 2.0 grants, you have to give a report on how you spent the Ready 1.0 grants, which was originally the ARPA money. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, what did this money go to? I don't know. Be honest with you. It's supposed to go to like infrastructure stuff, stormwater, sidewalks, whatever. Some of these, and here's the best part, is what I found out. We'll go to page 2 on this because this is really funny. A lot of these areas or authorities or whatever, they don't have like grant writers. So what they ended up doing is that they used ARPA money, $706,000, to write grants for these areas. Or there was even other times where I saw where it was the consulting companies were going to get paid as long as they got the ARPA money / the Ready money, which I thought was hilarious. Like your check is contingent that you did such a good job on the grant writing that you'll actually get money. I forgot where I saw that. I thought it was in, I think it was like Fisher's or something. Probably wrong, but when you go to Fourth Economy Consulting, what does it show? The contractors and processing it would be posted upon there. Of course, they are hiding everything because that's exactly how it works every single time. Why would you want to be open and honest about everything, huh, boys? Especially when you are the government. All right, so moving on here. Okay, so everybody knows that, I'm hoping anyway, if you follow Whitty Reporter, if you follow me on Whitty Reviews on Tuesday nights and Saturday nights, you all know, comprehensive planning. Each counselor got $1 million to do whatever project they wanted to do. Now, then, as the longer this went, it got a little bit more refined. It's going to be a DPW project or a parks project. And watching the committees, some of the counselors can band together and then build this massive project. Well, trying to figure out exactly what everybody got and what everybody did. Finally, Brian Mowry, he asked the DPW director about it. And what they said is that they have found 3 specific contractors, Reith Riley, Milestone, and EB Paving, and they will be doing all of the projects. Now, what I thought was interesting about this, I don't know if I have it up or not. No, actually, I think I'm a little early on this. This was the this was the 2021 bill, what I was talking about with the Ready funds, and here's the $500 million for the Indiana Economic Development Commission, regional for the Ready thing. Now, this, Ready was specifically created so they can distribute the ARPA money. All right, so I don't think I have it on here. I do not. Okay, that's fine. Actually, if I go to the page, let me see real quick. Nope. Okay, so I don't. Okay, so what I ended up finding out when you listen to it, there was a delivery method that got changed, and select operates under the build, operate, transfer law. And it was amended this last session. So I went and did a little chat GPT-ish to find out exactly what this amended law had to do with. So this bot law, which is the build, operate, transfer law, I'm just paraphrasing everything to just go real quick. I'm sure there's some details that I might be missing, but this is the overall thing. So it was mostly written for big projects, bridges, long roads, basically. What it was not meant for was small projects like strip patching. So this amendment changed all that, where it says right here, opens the door to bot for smaller projects like strip patching. This was interesting too. Instead of bidding out patching every spring, a city could sign a 5-year bot with a private contractor who promises to keep X amounts of arterial roads patched in good shape. Now, this is all fine and dandy. It was this was actually part of a bigger bill. Please tell me I have it. I do. Okay, so this was actually part of a bigger bill. It had to do with, and by the way, what did this bigger bill have to do with? Tolling. It allows INDOT to submit a request to the Federal Highway Administration for a waiver to toll lanes on interstate highways. It strikes language and provisions requiring the General Assembly to enact a statute before certain activities related to tolling may occur. And obviously, community crossings, increases the speed limit, township study committee. Now, I thought this thing was hilarious, to be honest with you, because you know where my mind automatically went. How is this going to be corrupted, huh? Listen, we all know that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I'm sure everybody was thinking, this is amazing. You know, why wouldn't we want this? Now we can do smaller projects with this thing instead of being only restricted to having these small things done with DPW or whatever small contracts you might have. Well, I asked that question with ChatGPT. You know, I was playing the pay to play, this whole pay to play scenario. And it said, all right, listen, there's already safeguards that exist. Competitive bidding and RFP required, public notice and hearings, which we know how those things work, approvals beyond the mayor. In most cities, the Board of Public Works or City Council has to approve contracts, not just the mayor. Oh, wow, because our city council and our boards are so trustworthy, right? Conflict of interest ethics laws. Boy, if we ever saw anything with the IADC lately, I'm sure we could trust that to happen too. And you say, hey, well, trust the board. Well, what just happened in Monrovia yesterday? They just approved more zoning for the data center. So we all have to remember, none of these people can be trusted. No smash or pass. I don't have any grandmommies to smash or pass right now. So yeah. Let's see if we can do exact mandate, blah, 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 blah. No specific. Okay. There was no specific section authorizing government to use bot, blah, 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 but it does change it. Okay, so here's what I thought was really funny. Brandon Herget, who is the former DPW director. He now works for Heritage Construction and Materials. And I did not know this, but Heritage Construction Materials is the parent company of Milestone Contractors. Now, who is on that list of the 3 contractors that will be doing those counselor projects? Milestone. Weird, right? Hey, didn't you say there's like safeguards for boards and all? Well, I mean, I'm not saying that there is like pure corruption. I'm just saying it's really funny when you look at everything and how the connections work in local government or even state government. All right, so these are the people. I did look into the Board of Public Works, and they're all kind of lame. In fact, like I think most of these people don't even belong at that board. And you know, it's just something that I was talking about Johnny Producer with. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I'm not exactly sure how some of these people, I have like the tabs open right in front of me. Let me actually show you Susie Cordy. Is this it? No, not Susie Cordy. Maybe it was. Who's the chick that had yeah, here it is. This lady right here. I think it's, I don't know which one it is. This lady had this grand idea. Yeah, Leslie Shute. She's going to build some like Wakanda painting right here. I don't know what the crap this is right here. Drivers are used to seeing lower speed limits, but what happens when signs aren't enough to keep kids safe? You know what? We're going to have this mural to try and help stop speeding. This is like interpretive dance. You're just like, hey, man, you got to slow down, okay? It's like William Shatner from Family Guy, where you're being really extra on your words. I don't know. That's a good question, Kif. Actually, what time? Yeah, we got a little bit of time. Let's look into that real quick. Michael Browning and Heritage. I mean, the guy looks like a troll for sure. Like an actual troll. Oh, F. What the crap? Where is it? Find Heritage. Let's see. I don't see anything. I don't know. Yeah, I hope they'll be doing burnouts. We can only hope. And then there's like a couple of other people, former city councilor, some guy that works at Cambridge, who's like has to do with truck transportation, not even in the state, by the way. Sebako Juanzo. I don't know how this guy how he got on the board. I think this is their DEI board hire. You know, obviously he, him pronouns. Dude, you were just working at a bodega as an operating manager, and somehow, if this is the same guy anyway, I mean, this guy is in Indianapolis, right? Yeah. He's a community conduit ecosystem builder, food justice expert. What is even that? What is that? Hey, man. I cannot. All right. I this is the Tuesday show. All right. I'm only half shoved on this thing. But as you can see, Brandon Hergy is on. You guys know how much I do not like Brandon Hergy. And there it is. The Heritage Construction and Materials. Started looking into that guy. All right. Moving on. Because I want to make sure I spend some time on this Three Kings things. We are not. Repeat. Everybody raise their right hand right now. Everybody raise your right hand right now. All right. Raise your right hand. All right. Repeat after me. We will not elect any more cuck Republicans in Indianapolis or Indiana. Okay. Repeat after me. No more bitch ass liberal Republicans will be voted in Indianapolis or Indiana anymore. Why do I say that? Because we had Derek Cahill, who is a Republican in Indianapolis, who went on Public Works Committee last week and said, you know what? I got a bunch of Burmese people in my district. And the MAC app, which is the Mayor's Action Center app, it's in English only. Listen, how are we supposed to have people from Burma who refuse to learn the English language use the MAC app? Okay. Thank you, Ducky. Thank you, Ducky. My man, Ducky, or girl. Actually, have we figured it out? I think you're a woman, right? Okay. My favorite female duck. Yeah, we need some tough, hard MFers in the Republican Party. No more bitch ass Republicans, right, people? And he goes, hey, you know what? The Mac app is only in English. I think that maybe we should do it in other languages because I have people in Burmese people in my district. And then Jim Sullivan goes, while cost and efficiency matter, leaving thousands of tax-paying families unable to use the Mac is also wasteful. Well, listen, Jimmy, have them learn English then. If you're in this country, you should be required to learn the language. Otherwise, get the fuck out, okay? Okay, you are the girl. All right. You're not just a girl, Ducky. You're a lovely lady. Based woman because you follow Indie Reporter. And he goes, a modest investment in translation can save money in the long run and make neighborhoods safer. So I tip my hat to Councilor Cahill for doing his job, representing his constituency. And of course, he gets mogged. Boom, bam. Yeah, exactly. He gets mogged in the comments, even get a slight ratio over here. Not exactly a ratio, but more. So make sure you go on here and like Molly because we need to have an actual ratio. You know, I'll put this producer suitcase. Do me a favor, put this in the chat so everybody can go on there and like that. How much more money? Hey, instead of spending money on the roads, we should put money on trying to help these Burmese people who refuse to learn the English language. Help. And by the way, Burmese people don't care about their community. They only care about helping themselves. Yeah. Johnny Suitcase, of course. And here he is, Jim Sullivan, who is the Perry Township Board for District 1. What does he have right here? You know what that is? That's in Burmese language. He needs to be deported. Jim Sullivan needs to be deported. And here he is with Michael Paul Hart, that fucking snake, Michael Paul Hart. Hey, Johnny Walrus is in the chat. We are so back. Yeah, mouthwash, base mouthwash goes hard pass on a heart. He can't be trusted. Yeah, you're getting a like for that one. And this is the worst part about Facebook. It's like stuck on here. So if Jim Sullivan runs against Paul N.A., I will help Paul N.A. door knock because my hatred for people like this who are bending the knee like that, like this, they should not be in office, okay? We do not need more cuck liberal Republicans in office. No mas. All right. Did he did run for office, right? Because I'm so happy. You know, at first I remember when Carrie what the hell is her name? Kelly Calloway? Because I actually liked Jim at first, but I knew he was a bit too soft, yeah. And he wasn't that far off. If Kelly Calley wasn't there, Jim Sullivan probably would have beat Paul Ney. But if Jim runs for city council, I will help Paul and A door knock, because my dislikeness / hatred for cuck Republicans that bend the knee to foreigners totally outweighs everything else. I hate it. I cannot stand it. No more of this crap. That's like when I see Haggard and Shreve all wearing their turbans so they can bend the knee to the Sikhs and the Indians. Bong rips every time. Yeah, shot every time Whitty says cuck. All right. So, what happened last week? I want to talk about this for the rest of the show. Only got like 23 minutes left. What have we been talking about for months over at Indie Reporter? We have been talking about 3 people: Chad Pittman, Paul Mitchell, and David Roberts. Now, we have all known about this cluster F. That's not enough. That's plenty of time, honestly. I got a lot of ranting out on Saturday, but it is the Tuesday show because there is more to this than what I talked about on Saturday, especially from what we posted earlier today. There is a big problem, which we have known for a long time, about everybody giving each other handshakes and hand jobs. Because the money going through the IADC or Elevate or Next Level Indiana and then helping out their buddies or the connections that they know, everything that we've posted on Indie Reporter about Andretti getting a sponsorship, the Colts, the Pacers, the Indians, all these different people that are getting taxpayer money to promote the IEDC. This is why there's many reasons for the IEDC that needs to be closed down, but this is the most obvious. Now, Kayla Dwyer, Haley Colombo, and Marissa Mador, they all wrote an article about these 3 kings / 3 amigos last week. Now, they are missing a few points here that we need to talk about. The first point is it took 3 women to write this article, and it took one Whitty to pretty much explain everything that's been going on for the last couple of months. Now, everything that they got was handed to them on a platter. And I know this because I received the same information, but trying to show all of you in bite-sized bits was very difficult, because you can't just lay all this red meat and expect all of you to understand all of it, because there's just too many connections to everything. And the most important question is, how does this affect me? Well, it affects you because your tax dollars are going to bullshit programs, bullshit companies to help out other people. And I think I'm going to say it. I believe there is a conspiracy to protect other people. I'm just going to say it right now. and I'm going to give you a little bit of proof to that too. Because I read this article and I'm just like, why? And I knew that David Roberts was probably going to be the fall guy. I'm just saying quotations because there's really not a fall guy, but the guy that they're going to paint the most as like this evil guy, the Lex Luthor, if you want to say. And the first example is, hold on, where is it? You can't see it. Hold on. Right there. Now, I just noticed this today, and I messaged somebody. I messaged Kiff earlier, and it was like, dude, why are they saying Dave Roberts, not David Roberts? And maybe I was just overthinking this, but I just noticed it. Yeah, Kiff, exactly. I was laying the groundwork. They walked. I helped them walk so they could run, basically. So Dave Roberts is actually David Roberts, and I'm not exactly sure why they put that, unless they did it on purpose. But if you look up Roberts, if you will notice that it's 45 times. I don't say 46, but it's because they use the on here. They use the link name too. So David Roberts was mentioned 45 times. Paul Mitchell was mentioned 15 times, and Pittman was mentioned 12 times. Now, the first thing that I thought, we debated on this, by the way, me, Sarah, and Kyle all debated, is like, should we kind of like throw these three women slightly under the bus, or like point out of what they are missing? Because I believe that Chad Pittman is a bigger deal than David Roberts. And I just want to point out a few reasons why. Now, Chad, and here it is right here, David Roberts, not Dave Roberts, on his actual LinkedIn. And by the way, I know some of you are like, well, you know what? He no longer works at ARI anymore. Well, guess what? He's still the Honorary Council of Belgium in Indiana, and he's still the executive director of Liebridge, which I haven't looked into Liebridge yet, and counsel for DeFore Chapinski, whatever, a boutique firm providing tailored legal services with noted expertise in renewable energy and related technology. I'm just going to point this out. And then Liebridge is a public-private alliance committed to accelerating the development of robust and secure domestic supply chain for lithium-based batteries, kind of like Energy Systems Network or Battery Innovation Center that he was part of. And I wanted to point this out. Now, Chad Pittman, and here it implies that he worked, or it says here that he worked, and it implies that he no longer works there. Well, according to Chad Pittman's LinkedIn ID, which is right here, it shows that he is still the current president and CEO of Purdue Research Foundation. Now, he is just not some regular guy that happened to be tangled up with this thing, like collateral damage or something. This guy is in an elitist position in the Purdue, by the way. And not only that, but he also went to Taiwan with Mike Pence. I don't know if he went with him, like they shared the same plane, but they were there together to sign a memorandum of understanding between Taipei Language Institute and the Purdue Research Foundation. And right here, all the proof is right there. And we looking into Chad Pittman, which, by the way, I already knew this thing. The Pittman family is very well known in Boone County. You ask any person that's involved with Boone County, whether it's in development or it's been there for a long time, they know about the Chip Pittman family so much that the Zionsville family had an article about it, saying that once the dad died, I think in 2020, there was a falling out between the two brothers and a bunch of lawsuits. Yeah, they recently concluded, and a settlement has been reached among the children of the late John and Una Pittman. As a result, the two major development projects are now moving forward pending a final approval of local officials. And even on here, Steve is a local real estate developer. His brother Chad is Zionsville resident, war veteran, lawyer, and business owner of 912 Advisors, and brother Scott Pittman is a doctor. And they talk about this. They talk about the history with all this, the farm at Zionsville. A little bit of the history of it. This was supposed to be the Ready Grant stuff that I didn't have over there. Now, if you look up Chad Pittman on InBiz, you will see all the businesses that he is connected into. Now, as you can see here, these are the business numbers, but you can see that like they're doing business as 5G, doing business as 912, doing business as Atlantic Innovation Center. You can see here on the notes too. On the 912 Institute, Paul Mitchell, David Roberts, and Chad Pittman all involved. Same thing with the Energy Systems Network. which is, if I remember right, CICP was really the birthplace of the Energy Systems Network or Battery Innovation Center. What I did like about that article, though, is that they showed it over in graphs. Now, this is really the fun part about their graph. They show next level manufacturing. Now, next level manufacturing is over off of Indiana Avenue. It's EMC 2, if I remember right. Actually, let's look it up real quick. Next level manufacturing on InBiz. We got plenty of time because I want to talk about something that is not being talked about, and I'm not exactly sure why. Manufacturing. Right here. 1250 Indiana Avenue. Who is the president of it? Chad Pittman. Let's look at the 1250 property card. Next Level Manufacturing Institute. Who owns the building? We're 1250. The owner is Next Level Manufacturing. Where does the property address right there? But who's the address of their 100 Willow Street? I'm not going to dox anybody, but that goes to Chad Pittman. Okay. And it goes so much deeper than that too. There was 140. Oh, that's not it. There was $142 million worth of contracts involving with Chad Pittman, with Applied Research Institute, with 912, with Battery Innovation, CICP, Next Level Manufacturing, Indie Innovation Challenge. Let me show something too with the Indie Innovation Challenge. Before that though, here's the best. Here's funny. I put the links up here too. EMC2, Emerging Manufacturing Collaboration Center. That building is being rented out, and the IEDC is paying rent to Chad Pittman for the most part. What the fuck? Thought someone was in my driveway. Thought I was going to have to go shoot somebody, but not today. Maybe Saturday. But this is the most important part, is that Chad Pittman is involved with this stuff way more than David Roberts or Paul Mitchell, from what I could find. But for some reason, he is not being mentioned as much. What is my theory on this whole thing? I think this has to do with him having a lot of connections in Boone County, with going to Taiwan, with Mike Pence, with the IADC, with the Purdue Research Foundation. But if you guys remember, earlier this year, there was an article from the Lebanon Reporter. Let's see if I could actually find this. Giant Lebanon. Hold on. Lebanon Reporter. Lebanon. What is going on? Okay. There was an article from the Lebanon Reporter saying that Zionsville man kicked out of Taiwan. And then a little bit later, they had deleted the article. But we archived it because we're awesome like that. And it says on here, Pittman reportedly engaged in conduct unbecoming of an officer when he became heavily intoxicated at a social function with Taiwanese military leaders and vomited on himself. He also used young females he met at various bars in Taipei. Funny enough, wait a minute. Wasn't he something with Taipei with Mike Pence again? What was that again? Wait a minute. Taipei Language Institute and the Purdue Research Foundation with Mike Pence. That's so weird. It's so unusual, right? Report also found out he spent much of his time in Taiwan conducting personal business and was completely ineffective as a leader. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, because earlier today, we posted this up on Facebook already, but earlier today, we had posted a link, if I still have it, with Chad Pittman from the Department of the Army. And what does it say right here? There was an investigation on Chad Pittman, and his conduct, basically. He was engaged, allegedly, that counterproductive leadership behavior with members of the reserve with ARCAT and investigated possible collection of activities. So in here, it was a recommendation that I believe that's Colonel Pittman is officially relieved from his team leader position and all personnel assigned to JTT. Now, what's interesting in this report, it shows on here that, where is it? Still retired. There was a portion in here. God, I wish I had I should have wrote it down what the page was. I retire. Furthermore, page 3, maybe. Oh, yeah, here it is. He was hanging out with Taiwanese leadership. Action is unprofessional and embarrassing due to him spending most of his time during a farewell dinner with 2 young Taiwanese females rather than interacting with partners that were present at a Taiwan military partner. And OF that works IMD. Now, what I don't understand here. Oh, yeah, finally, while interviewing the guard of support, he stated that when Major Jen Clay would reach out to vent her frustrations, one of her initial complaints was regarding Colonel Pittman working on his private sector job, like networking. Anthony Pittman stands behind engagement with the team, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So true. Me love you long time. Long time, actually. Funny that there is a Wong in here. Why am I pointing this out, by the way? Because this is what I don't understand, how this has not gotten more traction. That you have a guy who is the president and CEO of Purdue Research Foundation, a guy who was just brought up in an article from IndyStar with the Three Kings article, but somehow this thing only has like 1,000 impressions, 3 retweets, and whatever. So is there like some mass reporting, a mass cover-up of trying to protect Chad Pittman? I don't know. I don't have any proof of that, but I'm sure some of you would agree with me. Something is definitely up. Was it that people don't understand the Pittman name? Because guess what? We've had a bunch of messages from people talking bad about Pittman. Nobody that we will post up, by the way. And I think that's a great question, Kiff. How do we know that he's not compromised? We don't know. We don't know anything about this. All we know is that in this article, David Roberts is mentioned a lot more times than either Pittman or Mitchell. I think Mitchell is nothing for the most part. And it shows that Pittman is the board chairs and Mitchell earn more than $50, blah, 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 blah. This is what I don't understand, though. Why are people not talking about this more? And a bigger question is, too, is IndyStar going to look into Perez Investments, Fabio de la Cruz, Fabrizio Perez, and Western Property Management? Now, one of the things that we keep noting on here is the connections with Diego, with Braun, with Rokita, and everything. It's saying basically there is a reason why all these people are. Damn, that's a long one. I thought we had it in here. All right, let me just do it this way, because I think this is worth noting. I got to turn my volume down. There's a lot of alerts going on here right now. Hold on, change. No, I want Western Property Management, baby, because I want to show you something in real time. Right here. Western Property Management, who all got a bunch of money from Mike Braun, Diego. I mean, this is not a little bit. Also, who else? Republican State Committee got $25,000 from them. Now, we're Western Property Management. That's so weird. Where does that go to? 3919. I want to do this in real time because I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. 3019 Lafayette Road. Where does that go to? A gas station? Wait, what? No way. Hold on. No, I did not expect that, to be honest with you. Yeah. That's the opportunity zone. So wait a minute. Hold on. This is really funny. This is happening in real time. So the address goes to a gas station, right? That's what they're saying. Over on Lafayette Road and what? 38th Street. So that's so awesome. I can't believe we just looked that up. 3919. Is it all? And look, Rokita 2 got $5,000 from there. Okay, here we go. Western Property Management. Where does this go? You notice how there is Western Property Management, but they're using a bunch of different addresses. And then this goes to a mini mall. Ooh, oh, and by the way, who owns this mini mall? Let's find that out right now. Binford Shops. Oh, I think that's a different one. Binford Shops LLC. Wait, 8315. Yeah, but then the address goes to there. So where does that go to? We're doing some research right now. I want to know MBS Investments. So what is MBS Investments? Where does that go to? To a place in oh yeah, that's where the Indians are. Okay, that's right. Now I remember that one. That one didn't make any sense at all. Because when you keep going further down the rabbit hole, it goes to some Indians, which I thought was really weird. Like, what is the connection with that? Is that like some kind of connection with Raju? But the other ones, you can obviously, that had to do with Fabio. Because the PFQQ0 is like an opportunity zone where you can get federal money and help out with taxes. You know, something else that I found out too is that the property tax, the assessed value of the Lafayette Square Mall is at like $50,000, and it's been that way forever. Like, how does a mall that you bought for $2.3 million only have an assessed value for $50,000? That kind of Indians. The only people, the feather kind of Indians, only buy casinos and have large investments in jean jackets. Oh. But it is starting to match up, right? Is it making sense now? Like, why are they not talking about Chad Pittman more? Why are they bringing up David Roberts? He's like a fall guy that doesn't really have to be a fall guy. It does seem like they are protecting Chad Pittman, though. I don't understand it at all. Same thing with Diego. Same thing with Raju and Fabio. Well, also, if you guys are in the YouTube chat, make sure you are liking, okay? And by the way, tell your friends to subscribe to Whitty Reviews on YouTube. I'm trying to get to 200 before the end of the year. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. Actually, I'm about ready to wrap up. I don't know what's going on for the mouthwash show, but don't forget on Saturday. Oh, yeah, so real quick. Yeah, fall guy who doesn't know he's the fall guy. I honestly don't know. I kind of wonder that myself. They're just like, yeah, what's the big deal? We know we're going to be sweeping all this stuff under the rug. It doesn't make any sense to me. It baffles me, is what it does. And this is why it's so important, I think, about Dan Stock is cool. Dan Stock would be, but I think this is, you know, I was thinking about this earlier. Was like, this is a test of faith for the media. It's like, oh, they're doing such a great, because I saw Rob, he was glazing the article and saying that they deserve an award. I don't think they deserve an award. Everything was, it's not like they just stumbled upon it and went down the rabbit hole. This was all given data to them. The data that I got, you know, and I think this is another test of faith for everybody else, because we're not sure what is real. And if it is real, how real is it? Like, how much of the truth do we understand from that article? When you see about Roberts getting mentioned 45 times, and then Mitchell and Pittman get mentioned 14, 15 times. And did you guys feel it in your gut too? I would recommend everybody this. When you're reading an article, do you feel like something is off? Do you feel it in your gut? Like, I feel like there's more to the story. That's your instinct kicking in. Like, this feels a little bit bad faith. There's a lot of information, but not all of it. Is this just surface level information, or does it go deeper? Because it does feel like they're trying to do like squirrel, pay attention over here. Hey, don't worry about Pittman over here. We want to make sure Dave Roberts, not David Roberts, is the person that you're focusing on. And this is why we're so hated. I do not think you guys understand of like how hated Indie Reporter is. This is why I've given up trying to communicate with legislators, trying to communicate with oh really? Oh shit. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, this is what I can't stand about I got like another minute or two. I'm just gonna talk shit about IndyStar. Like Capitol Chronicle. We had posted that joke on Indie Reporter. It's like, hey, Capitol Chronicle is looking for a reporter. And it's like, hey, you know what? Should we do it? Hey, should we go on there? They would be the fastest firing ever. And the problem is because there are guardrails that you have. And with Indie Reporter, there's nothing. We're free balling the entire time. Like literal pissing in the wind. Oh, we saw this. This is like things that people don't talk about, like that $1 million. Or watch committees. Like there's like 15 hours of committee videos that I need to watch still. Yeah. Yeah, we think you are stupid. You can't explain the level of spending without a conspiracy. Yeah, that's what it is though. I know that's kind of like, it's like a half joke, but that's what makes me think like, man, I'm losing my mind right now. It's like, am I going full schizo? Am I going schizo Steve right now? Because hey, it feels like all the information is pointing to somebody else. It feels like the information is pointing towards Chad Pittman, not David Roberts, not Paul Mitchell. It feels like Chad Pittman is way more involved with this. And I'm not saying that he is, but the data that I have in front of me, it feels like he's like, if there's levels to it, he would have the gold star or the gold medal of like, hey, maybe we should be focusing on this guy. He has way more connections to everybody else in the state and probably federal government, international government, as we can see with that trip over to Taiwan. And I'm not saying, if for all of you douchebags out there right now that might be watching like, oh my God, this guy's saying that he's doing all this stuff. Not at one point have I ever said that Chad Pittman is doing anything illegal. I've never said anything. I just said I think there is more to the story with Chad Pittman than there is with David Roberts. When you look at Energy Systems Network, when you look at Battery Innovation Center, when you look at all these different deals with Purdue Research Foundation, when you look at Elevate Ventures, when you see the money that they invested with Purdue Research Purdue Research Foundation. When you look at one of the investments from Elevate Ventures, and then it has the exact same address as Battery Innovation Center, that doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, Indie Reporter for mayor. Oh, by the way, in the Indie Reporter mayor administration, we will be looking at the Marion County Fair Board, and we will be releasing every single document that has to do with Joe Hogsett and where he was during the 2020 riots. Also with Thomas Cook, too. We will release everything legally anyway. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I have way more information than what I just said right now. Here, actually, let me show you real quick. Let me hold on before this 1 minute, and then I'll let everything go. Get ready, producer Suitcase. I want to show everybody something what I have right now. all of these sheets that have to do with everything. With CICP, with Michael Browning. I have one on David Anderson. I have one on Christopher Day. All these different things that I really thinking about, the sports tech connection, everything. Fabio Properties. So there's a lot out there, okay? Just try to connect the dots so all of you guys can understand it. With that being said, Saturday night on 8 o'clock p.m., I'll be talking more about everything. And don't forget the podcast on KNS Radio. That'll be I'll do the recording on Friday, be released on Saturday. So with that, I love you guys. Bye.